안녕하세요 여러분. 오늘은 오덜리네트워크의 파운더 란님과 함께 AMA 시간을 가지게 되었습니다. 오늘 파이어위크 AMA에 많은 관심과 참여 부탁드립니다. 오늘 AMA 보상은 총 7명의 질문 당첨자에게 총 210달러 상당의 오더 코인 보상을 약 30달러씩 균등 지급할 예정이고요. AMA 이후에 텔레그램을 통해 안내드리도록 하겠습니다. 렌 안녕하세요. 불개미 커뮤니티 유저들에게 자기소개 및 오덜리 네트워크에 대하여 소개 부탁드립니다. Hello Ren, welcome to Fire at Home. Could you introduce yourself and introduce Odelli Network?
Yes, thank you very much for having me. I'm Rand, co-founder of Orderly Network. Thanks to FireAnt and FireWeek. It's great to be here. A bit about Orderly. At Orderly, we want people to be able to trade anything, anywhere. That's kind of the mission. So what that means is one shared order book across different blockchains, currently on 7. We just announced a launch on Solana. It's live on testnet, going to be mainnet next month, and will be the first order book on EVM and Solana that's unified liquidity. What that means is users will be able to deposit on Solana, they trade any of our 60 listed perps, and they can withdraw on like a EVM chain, similar to a centralized exchange. So we want users to be able to access us from any blockchain, and there's many builders built on top of us, currently about 30, where users can choose any of them to trade and access Orderly's liquidity. And further than that, for anything, we want to be able to list any asset on Orderly in a permissionless way in perps. Currently, there's 60 perps listed. There's a lot more coming. We want to be able to have marketplace for any sort of asset and listed in a permissionless way, while users can deposit liquidity also in a permissionless way. So that's what we're trying to achieve at Orderly. We've processed over $84 billion in volumes since end of last year till now. And we're live on 7 blockchains, going to be live on Solana.
Thank you for your kind introduction. 네, 자세하고 상세한 설명 너무 감사드립니다. 오덜리 네트워크는 우리가 매일 보는 거래소에 호가창을 제공해주는 프로젝트라고 간단하게 요약해드릴 수 있겠습니다. 지금부터는 사전 질문 시간입니다. 사전에 불개미 텔레그램 커뮤니티 채널에서 오덜리 네트워크에 대한 질문을 수렴을 했는데요. 총 7개의 사전 질문이 채택되었습니다. 지금부터 질문하고 답변 받아보는 시간 가지도록 하겠습니다. Okay, this time for question section, we have 7 prepared questions, and let's go. First pre-question, I understand that Odelli Network order token is the platform's native utility token. Can you explain what role and function it plays on the platform?
Yes, so we want everything in our ecosystem to be tied in with the token. That means it's like the thing that users would use to get value capture from the ecosystem and later on for governance. Currently, Orderly is giving 60% of net revenues to what we call Valor holders. To become a Valor holder, you simply stake order tokens and later on ES order tokens, which are vested into our smart contracts on app.orderly.network. There's about 74 million order tokens staked. When staking it, you accrue what's called Valor. Valor is like your points into a treasury system where you have claims to the treasury that's built up on Orderly on a daily basis. So as I mentioned, 60% of Orderly net revenues, which are the fee income, goes into this treasury every single day. Currently, the accrued treasury is about $230,000 and accrues every day. Total accrued, I believe it's over 300,000. So you're staking order tokens, you're getting Valor, and you can redeem your Valor for USDC that's accrued in the treasury every day, because 60% of orders net revenues goes to that treasury. And the current APY is about 21%, which updates every single day, depending on order price, depending on income and such. It's not inflationary because it's simply what the protocol makes. It's a portion of it, 60% of it on a daily basis. We'll have more things that's value capture for order tokens and Valor holders as time progresses. Additionally, while you stake order, you actually enjoy multipliers on your trading rewards, because currently trading on any Orderly powered DEX, you can get trading rewards. So the more you stake, the more a portion of the pool where your multiplier will increase. So that's, again, also tokenomics that allow order holders to benefit from the value capture.
Okay, this is second question. I found the order and ES order tokens on the Oddly network. How can I stake these tokens to earn Valor?
Right. So I mentioned in the previous answer, you can stake order or later on ES order. ES order is not available yet. It will be after a certain amount of epochs, but you can stake order now in app.orderly.network on the staking page. And as soon as you stake, you see it. You can stake it on any number of chains because order token is a OFT, is an omni-chain token. Once you stake it, you start accruing Valor right away. I think like per second, and then again you can redeem that Valor for USDC that's accrued in the treasury, which is 60% of Orderly's net revenues. You can redeem it anytime there's a redemption period, but you'll get USDC.
Thank you for your kind answer. And this question is third question. In my experience, it was really easy to use and better than any perpetual DEX, but the user base and coin valuation are going down. What are some plans to expand the user base of the Oddly network and increase the value of the Oddly coin in the long term?
Well, there's a few things. One, before there were a lot of people farming the airdrop, right, pre-TGE. So there was a ton of users and activity. And then after TGE, that sort of trickled down and the activity dropped. But in recent weeks, we've actually experienced a turnaround in activity. So if you look at our Dune, you can see that the number of daily active users, the volume, the revenues by our brokers have stabilized. And if any, turn around. If you look at the TVL, that's actually turned around for Orderly. So I think these are very positive signs that the activity has turned around. And even when we talk about token price, I think that's stabilized as well. So I think that's positive news. That being said, the activity is not high, right? Before we were trading $1 billion a day, 1.8 billion at the max, and now it's around 100 million-ish. It depends depending on the market. We definitely want that to be much, much higher than what it is today. And there's a few ways that we're going to do this. So one is more chains. We just launched on Solana testnet. The mainnet is going live pretty soon. In next month, we're going to be launching on more chains. So what that means is more ecosystems, more builders on top of Orderly, our existing builders going into those ecosystems and attracting those users, right? The more ecosystems we enter, and the ecosystems are very happy that we're entering into their ecosystems because we're providing liquidity for perps. And as soon as as perps become more permissionless, all of that is beneficial to their users. So then that user base will grow. We also set up a dedicated growth team for traders where we interact with many trading KOLs, some of which who invest in Orderly, and trading communities around different regions. And we're working with a lot of our partners on this. So this group is working actively to get more traders onto Orderly. And we're working a lot with our top brokers like WooFi, who has this system set up to get traders. We already have a lot of market makers on the platform. There's about 40 professional market makers who are actively quoting and trading on Orderly. So that's a very good segment that we already have. For example, like meme perps, that's one sector that we're targeting to actively get growth. So I think in the next 2 months, you'll definitely see some more growth and activity for Orderly. And although we cannot predict prices and we cannot control prices, but we think that with increased activity, volumes, user base, TVL, I mean, that should reflect, in the token, ideally, and which means, more revenues, more value capture, more of a split to the token holders, more APY for the Valor holders. And among other things, there's some surprises coming up as well that can potentially benefit the token holders. So I mean, the token is a huge part, if not the biggest part of the Orderly ecosystem. And that's what really aligns everyone, the traders, the KOLs, the builders, and the token stakers. So, I mean, we definitely want to bring as much value capture to the token as possible.
So, do I need to buy now?
Yeah, no financial advice.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, I think we want to give 100% of our revenues to token holders, someday. I think that's kind of the end goal. And then everyone is is kind of paid by the token. We're all contributors, and it's truly decentralized and community governed. And the token, of course, would have governance power by then. So, and that's kind of the vision. And we're trying to push very hard towards that vision, like day by day.
Thank you for what a great answer. 지금 영상 촬영일에 당시 찾아보니까 오더 토큰 가격은 0.1달러 정도입니다. 0.11달러 정도네요. 한번 지켜보도록 하겠습니다. 저는 더욱 신뢰가 생긴 것 같습니다. Thank you for your detailed answer. This question is first question. Odelli's order book engine liquidity is really good, and I'm wondering how to provide it.
Yes. So Orderly is a central limit order book, right? So it's an order book, and people post orders on the order book, and that's where the liquidity happens. We have a very sophisticated system that incentivizes market makers. Orderly currently pays 1.5 basis point maker rebates to market makers. This is open. So every time they post, they're expecting to get paid 1.5 basis points if someone takes that order, which is pretty high, especially for DeFi. We have market making programs also for all the market makers where there's 500,000 order tokens every epoch for all the market makers. They kind of compete on this. Sometimes we even incentivize them with additional incentives. And as we do more listings, we can get the projects to provide incentives for them as well. There's all types of incentives to keep market makers very happy and working for Orderly. And that's why the books are tight, right? So these are all different things where, we're putting together the ecosystem of like expert traders, of people who want to provide capital. But to sum it up, now it's mostly market makers, like 40 market makers that are quoting on Orderly's books, providing liquidity by professional market makers. And we're adding in pools that allows anyone to be able to provide liquidity via these market makers into the order book. So then that beefs up the entire order book, increases depth, and it invites the bigger traders to come over and trade.
Okay, thank you for your kindly answer. This question is sixth question. Could you introduce other tokens, Tokenomics? How does it benefit different stakeholders and support the ecosystem growth? But I believe you have already explained a lot of utility before. So you can explain what you think of future Orderly utilities. Yeah, I think Valor and other tokens may really important things in Orderly Network's ecosystem. Do you have any plan about Valor token minting, or just Valor will just only point?
Yeah, Valor is not a token itself, right? Yeah. It's a point that's in the smart contract. It is in the smart contract, so it's not like centralized, right? But it's not a token. It's the point, and everything's in the smart contract. So we don't plan to try to make that liquid. There's no plan on doing that. But it's just while you're staking order, you get that, and then you're more incentivized to have more Valor and not burn it, because the more Valor you have, the bigger portion of the treasury. If someone else is burning it and redeeming, that means you have more of the treasury. And as the treasury grows, you just have a bigger percentage of it, and whatever that gets airdropped into the treasury. So people are incentivized to stake and keep Valor, but it's always an option, right? If you want to redeem it, burn the Valor and get the money in the treasury, then go ahead. That's an option. But that's just up to each person. So.
Okay, thank you for a detailed answer. This question is the last question on today's AMA. Final question. I'm very interested about in meme coins, but maybe because Orderly doesn't support Solana, I don't think there are many Solana based meme coins. Any plans to expand to various chain? But you already mentioned about Solana multi-chain.
Yeah. Meme coins are something we're very, very interested in. I think eventually Orderly, the listing is going to be more permissionless. It's going to be permissionless, right? It's subject to risk controls. So it's just like Uniswap. Because right now, if a project wants to list their perp, there's nowhere to go. And we want to be the platform that they think of. If you want to list a perp, you don't know how to get to a centralized exchange. And if you're there, potentially the cost is high, right? The process is very vague. It's not transparent. We already publicized our listing criteria to the public. I mean, there's 3 listing criteria. One is just $20 million FDD. And then we publicize liquidity requirements for the token. I mean, now we still require a market maker. So whether if the project has their own liquidity provider or wants to be introduced to one of ours, either one is fine. And then we'll have pools later where the projects can deposit into the pools, and then the market goes live. So liquidity requirements, FTV, minimum FTV, and then just price index sources. So these are oracles, because for perps, you need a price index. These are just oracles that projects need to have, whether it's spot listings on centralized exchanges, whether it's some of the decentralized oracles, Chainlink, PIF. As long as the oracles exist, essentially we can list it. Yeah, so in terms of meme coins, so that was the question. We actually have listed quite a few Solana meme coins, like Mudang, like Bonk. We listed quite a bit of Solana meme coins actually on Orderly. And these are the perps, these are not the spot. So people can long and short. Right now, there's a lot of meme coins that are very popular. Like now, it's still kind of a manual process, but it's very transparent and how the listings happen for us, and there's no hidden costs. In the long run, we just want it to be permissionless, where people are able to list what they want, and others can long or short these types of perps.
What a great answers. And what a great AMA. Much appreciate, Ren. 이것으로 오늘 AMA를 모두 마치도록 하겠습니다. 녹화 방송이다 보니까 사전 질문으로만 답하게 되는데 게스트 란님께서도 답해주시느라고 너무 고생 많으셨고요. 오늘 마지막으로 불개미 커뮤니티에 한마디 부탁드리도록 하겠습니다. Hey Ren, could you leave a last word for Fire community about a Korea community for Oddly?
Yes, thank you so much for having me. We're very global in nature. We welcome all types of community members and traders. Please, join our Discord, Telegram, follow us on Twitter, or just, be briefed by FireAnt in his subscriptions about the progress of Orderly. And, we're trying to build something that's very big and permissionless, and we want to allow anyone to be able to trade anything from anywhere. So that's kind of the mission. So thank you everyone.
마지막으로 오덜리와 함께 진행할 파이어위크 남은 일정도 많은 관심 부탁드립니다. 감사합니다.